I was listening to that.
It was all Dalene's fault.
We're live.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, good morning. I haven't had a meeting in a couple weeks, so we've got definitely some things to do on the agenda today. To start off, is there any public comment for any subjects not on the agenda that the Commission has jurisdiction over? Any public comment? Anyone have anything? Okay. Well, we will move right into our first item. TJ Gravely, Public Works Director, Department Update.
Good morning, Madam Chair, Commissioners. TJ Gravely, Public Works Director, GRAVELEY. So, I'm just going to give you a little update of what we've got going on right now, what we got going into winter. I'm going to start with the solid waste. Winter hours have started with the Winston site, and they are now 1 to 5. That was effective October 1st. And that's due to we have no power, we have no lights kind of thing. That's more of a safety issue. We did sell the metal finally to East Ridge Enterprise, and we took in just over $57,000. So that was a good bonus for us, considering we budgeted, I think, $36,000. With that being said, we did also sell the 120 cat excavator that had been there since the conception of that building in 1993. At public auction, that was $12,250. We have not received that check yet, but I'm assuming it'll be in probably any day, really. We also sent out a second letter for the clawback money, the ERP money, in mid-September. It's been fairly positive. We've had a few people come in and pay, but we've had a lot of people inquire about it. And once we explained what actually happened, they were very positive. We haven't received any negative feedback on that. Will we get the $103,000 back? I doubt it. We are going to make a decision. I think it's December 31st as far as what is going to happen with that moving forward. Also, the new excavator is up and running, and it seems to be a really good fit up there for them. I thank the Commission for that, the ability to do that. We did have some staff shortage in Tossin Radersburg about 2 weeks ago. We are 100% staffed again, so hopefully there's no more interruptions. That's all I'm going to give you on the solid waste for right now. The roads, the mowing is just getting wrapped up. Dwight's probably got another week-ish. And also the roads are getting, the rough roads are getting graded for winter. As we get into winter, there's some things that the public needs to know. This has been an ongoing debate or question for years as far as how come my road hasn't been plowed. Our policy says that our bus routes and mail routes are first. In the event of a big storm, it could take several days for us, the road department, to get open. We won't forget about you. They will get to it. You got to remember there's 4 guys trying to open up. Of snow miles, probably close to 500 snow miles, lane miles. With that being said, if there's high winds during a blizzard, don't call us and expect us to go out on it. I'm not going to put my guys out in it. You shouldn't be out in it either. Please be prepared for winter when it comes. As you guys know, I live on Delger Road, or off of Delger Road, and that is one of the worst roads that drifts in. Stay home. They will open it. Now, there's another thing that has been happening in Broadwater County. I'd really like to get a handle on it. is when people plow their driveways, they plow it out into the county road. Do not plow it into the county road and across the county road. Plow it back into your driveway. It's just as easy. We didn't have the snow to begin with. I'm sorry. And if you live on the south side or the east side and you live in one of these lower roads, more than likely you're going to get some snow in your driveway. But with that being said, they've been instructed to square their blades up, feather it out so it's not a big berm. It's, like this. That is the only thing we can do. We can try to square up and carry it by, but it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is. So please be patient with the road department as they kind of get through some of this stuff. Like I said, all the snow is going to go southeast or in a drainage. So if you're in the mountains and you're saying they're plowing it on the north side, it's because there's a drainage there. This has been the practice for as long as I've been here, well before, and it works best for our wind conditions that we get out of the north and west.
So you're plowing, pushing it to the southeast side, is what you're saying? Okay.
East-west roads are your worst roads here, just because of the predominant winds here. Now I want to talk, we've got a guy retiring that has had 42 years of service with Broadwater County. We do have a job posted, and it is open till the end of October. The 31st of October is the last day. You can get that information off of the paper, the local Montana 43 or MT 43, the county website, and West Staff also has it posted. Currently we have 6 applicants. We are going to run interviews about the 4th, 5th of November. The reason I want to do it that early is the gentleman that is retiring, I want him to train him effective December 1st. So if you know of anybody that would be a good fit, send them our way. Like I said, we've had 6 applications come in, which is pretty good for us. The wages are competitive, and to say the least. I think that's all I got for you guys today.
And the benefits are good.
The
Just had to add
benefits,
that before Commissioner Randolph.
I will say the benefits are fantastic.
I can
You're
attest
not
to
gonna
the
beat
health
them.
insurance is
I
very
can
good.
attest to it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, everything's going smoothly as we get into winter. The 2 snow plows that we do have, we are planning on putting them to good use, and I hope they sit.
Madam Chair, I have a question.
Please.
TJ.
Yeah.
Do you have an amount received from the second letter that was sent for the ERP?
It's under 1,000. I've only had a couple of people come in. But I've had several people come in and inquire about it and say, we will get you a check. One of them was, or 2 of them were out of the country, so.
Okay. And then just one comment, because during the winter, I'm sure we all get calls about this. We do not plow in the city, except the mail route or the...
The only thing that gets
School
plowed
route.
in the city, and this is more for the guys, is 4th Street.
Yeah.
And 6th Street.
4th
And
and
it's
6th.
going from the road shop to the highway and going from the intersection of Cedar Street to Harrison.
So if you live in the city, I believe they're still under the policy of they only grade or plow if it's snow of 18 inches or more.
Correct.
So do not call the county.
Yeah, we do not plow that. In the event of something like that,
Yeah.
they got bigger problems. So I don't know where they're going to put their stuff.
All right. Thank you. Anything
Yep.
else?
No.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
I got to stay for this one.
Ruby's updates are always entertaining. Ruby Taylor, Public Health Director, Department Update.
Hello, Ruby Taylor, Director of Public Health, TAYLOR. So we are in full swing of flu and COVID season. In the last 2 weeks, I think we've had 143 vaccines come through, and that's just for flu and COVID. We are super busy. We still have some openings on our.
Excuse me, Madam Chair.
Oh,
I think we
yes.
have a technical issue.
Oh yeah, no worries.
Yep.
Hold
Pause.
on just a
Sorry.
sec. Somebody on the staff said they're trying to watch and they don't see us live.
Uh-oh.
But our system is, and we do the best we can.
Yeah.
And it says live on here.
Back to all the technical
I know.
things that have been
issues.
going
We were
on
just
in the
talking about
world.
that this morning. It says live on ours.
Angie's
And our
gonna
policy-
Angie's gonna check
Okay,
on hers.
thank you.
Yeah. Sorry, Ruby.
Oh, you're good.
Sorry. Right, we're still recording right
recording,
now,
okay.
we think. It looks like we are. Everything on our end.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yep, mm-hmm.
You don't want to waste it all.
There are too many public meetings with me saying something real out of pocket on the website here.
I think YouTube, our YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything on.
And usually when you go on the live, right, it comes out.
Yeah.
It shouldn't.
Yeah, it should just be right there on the slide.
I don't see it.
Hopefully it's recording.
She's texting Kim. And it is our policy, we do the best we can.
Yeah.
Due to technical issues, it may not work. It looks like it's working on our end.
Okay.
Okay.
So we may stop again once, if Ken gets over here.
It could
Yeah,
be.
no worries.
And if it's recording, it would still get posted.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Shouldn't say anything right now.
Right.
I apologize.
Oh, you're fine.
We want to go ahead. Are we go ahead? Good. Good to go. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So on flu and COVID, I totally spaced this part too. We don't have any active cases in the county as far as I'm aware. So that's a plus. But last year we had a very late flu season, so I'm anticipating that again. Just because of the way flu seems to hit us.
Are people actually reporting COVID much anymore? At
Yes
all?
and no. It's typically if you have been sick enough to like go to the doctor that people are reporting COVID because they're getting tested. If people are doing home tests, we haven't had a ton of home test call-ins unless it's someone who's very diligent about letting us know. But
Okay.
for the most part, I don't know that we've seen a COVID in a hot minute.
Okay.
And part of that is either home testing or just not testing at all. And then our homemaker program is full, but our skilled program, we have plenty of room. And on that one, if you would like to be part of our skilled nursing program, which in that we do like medication setup, we can do basic wound care. Like for some of our people, I go and do their foot care at home, that sort of thing. Typically, if you want to be on the program, it's like weekly med setup is what we kind of base it off of, and that one requires a doctor's order. So if you have a friend, family member, yourself who would like to be set up with us for weekly med management or like short term for a wound care issue that you need managed, we are happy to do that. We just need a doctor's order.
So you can do it short term.
Yes.
So if someone just needs like a couple weeks. Or
Yep.
assistance-
Yep. And I've done that before.
Okay.
Mhm.
Perfect.
So we are happy to take people on there. And I think that's all of the big stuff right now. Right now it's flu and COVID season, and so we are just in the weeds on that.
Okay. If people need information on like flu vaccines or anything like that, they can just call you?
Yep.
Can they show up? Do they need an appointment?
You are more than welcome to show up at our office whenever. However, we do prefer if you call to schedule just so we can make sure insurance is good and all of that jazz. But for the most part, if you show up, we are fairly accommodating as long as we have a nurse in the office. But we do prefer a heads up and a phone call. And we just did 2 flu clinics at the pharmacy, one last Friday and one yesterday. And those were pretty successful as far as our out-of-clinic flu clinics go.
When you say a flu clinic, does that mean you're giving vaccines?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, so we gave, I think, 12 at the first one and 11 yesterday. So, yeah. and we really enjoy doing it. It's a good time to sit out and chat with the community and just get our faces out there.
All right, thank you.
Absolutely.
Are
Madam
there
Chair,
any
I have a
questions?
question.
Yeah.
Does the Public Health Department have home COVID test available?
We do not.
Okay, that's
The state discontinued that program, and so we do not have any more free COVID tests. We do have a lot of other free stuff, like a lot of, we have medication bottles that lock for lethal means management for crisis diversion. We have gun locks. We have the condoms that I always preach about. We've got
Yeah.
all sorts of fun stuff at the health department. So if you ever have questions on resources or anything like that, we are more than happy to chat. And we love to see people. So feel free to stop by.
Okay. Thank you. Does anyone else have questions for Ruby? No? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Do we need to pause for a sec, guys?
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
live.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Going back to jail.
Going back to jail. It sounds terrible if she says that. I think as long as we're recorded, that's the biggest thing. Are you out?
My way over and there's nothing. I see where we rate.
Rude.
Is Bill for the TED?
No.
All we have to do is record.
No.
You guys just do an update on it?
Oh, yeah, we've got an update, and then we've got our, we've got to discuss our committee, resolution creating the committee for down there.
As long as that is recorded, leave it go.
Yep.
I might listen for the
I mean, you know. We're good? We can
It
continue?
does not look like we are live, which is the first time that we've had this issue, but it's being recorded,
Okay.
so it will be posted later.
Perfect. All right. Next thing up, we are going to talk about the Targeted Economic Development District, also known as the TED. Give a little update on that. If you don't mind, I'll lead off on that one. I've got some basic bullet points about the TED. So a lot of people wonder about the TED. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, nobody's paying taxes. That's not true. That's not how it works. However, I do think we, now that we're kind of moving forward a little bit more for various reasons, we can start kind of trying to re-explain to everyone what the TED is and what's going on down there. So the Wheatland TED was created by resolution from the commissioners in 2019 per MCA 715-4279. The Targeted Economic Development District, or the TED, it's an economic development tool to build infrastructure in underdeveloped or undeveloped areas that are infrastructure deficient. So that's identified prior to the resolution being created. They basically TED encourages the location retention of value-added projects. So we're looking for things like manufacturing, tech, logistics type businesses in that area, which is outlined in our TED plan, also from 2019. The TED infrastructure, building up that infrastructure, is funded through a mechanism called tax increment financing. TIF is a mechanism allowing local governments, basically they use the tax revenue from businesses in that TED district specifically for building the infrastructure and value-added projects throughout that whole district. So when a business in a TED pays taxes, the base taxable value for the property prior to development is received as a normal part of the county's tax collection, but the incremental taxable value, so think anything that is built above ground or adds value to that property, goes, instead of into the regular tax base, goes into the TIF. That stays there. That increment is redirected to fund infrastructure projects, roads, water systems, utilities within the TED district, instead of going to general public services like schools or counties. So when our TED was created in 2019, it was very specific to not allow housing for that reason. There would be no taxes going into the school district. So we did not want housing there because how do you restrict? If kids are going to go to the school district, that creates a problem. The schools aren't getting any payment from a TED. So The TIF, or the tax increment financing, does sunset. The TED sunsets with it. It's guided by MCA 715-4292. It's listed at 15 years for a sunset, but there are exceptions within that statute. I'm not going to go into that. The benefits, basically, TEDs, they encourage private investment, they reduce upfront infrastructure costs, they help develop underutilized rural areas, and they can be used to leverage other funding sources for things that are needed, like a grant or a bond. Currently, our TED district, things have moved a little slowly down there. Again, it was created in 2019. I think the timing was just kind of rough with COVID, which I hate blaming COVID. It got the blame for a lot of things, but it did kind of just slow things down a little bit. We do have 5 businesses there currently, and I don't know for sure, and I need to check if we have this information online. If we don't, I think we can get it posted, all about our TED, which I would like to see that on there so people can view the TED map. So 5 businesses are there currently. The commissioners are working with MBAC, which is Montana Business Assistance Connection, which is our regional development group, to identify and recruit other appropriate businesses for that TED. And we've really identified like public water and wastewater within that district as one of the infrastructure priorities for it. Right now, currently, our TIF, which is again the tax incremental financing, has a balance of about $138,837. So there's not a lot happening, not a lot going on. If you're coming into the TED and you want reimbursed for an infrastructure project, it's going to take a little time before we can commit those funds, but we're getting there. Obviously, the more businesses, the quicker that TIF grows. As things grow, businesses will apply and request reimbursement from the TIF for value-added infrastructure projects. The TED Advisory Committee, which we will talk about next, will help with financial review, project application review, and the work plan for the district, and they'll be working and making recommendations to the commissioners. There were some legislative changes to tax incremental financing in 2025. It really decreases the amount allowed to be collected into a TIF, and I believe so it decreases the amount allowed collected into the TIF and increases the amount that goes to the general tax base. So that means just TIFs will grow a little bit more slowly. That's pretty like 100-foot view of the TED, but I think any of us is willing to talk with people about it. There's been a lot of misunderstanding, and I think we're going to have an article and have some more information released on this. That's what I have for our current TED update. We will talk about the committee next. Would you guys like to add anything on the district currently?
I don't think I have anything. That was a pretty good overview of what's going on.
What it is.
Yeah.
Again,
It was in my checklist, covered it. There's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to it, but that's a TED 101, because it does get deep and confusing and governmental language.
Yeah. I guess like within our TED, we have certain, and I would say landowners that have subdivided and are selling properties, that have been subdivided within that. And Murdoch's is one of those. It is coming. I'm not sure the date, but Murdoch's does own one of the properties in the TED now. But we don't get, they don't really tell us when they're building or what's happening. Also, I wanted to add that the rest stop, there has been a lot of discussion about that rest stop down there. We have nothing to do with the rest stop. That is MDT. We all know that there are soil issues in that area. We all know that there are water issues in that area. We had nothing to do with the engineering, the building of the rest stop, and whether it is open or closed. MDT, again, is the one running that. So I'm not trying to sound like I'm kicking the can, but we really don't know anything. We find out at the same time the rest of the public does. Let's see. That's really all I can think of right now. I think as things get going, we can continue to update the public on it. We will next roll into talking about the committee that I mentioned that will help with the financial review and review applications for project reimbursement from the TIF. Does anyone have anything else to add or any other questions?
No, I think once the board gets up and operating, there'll be a lot more information for the public.
Okay, perfect. And we're always happy to answer it. Do people call us or email and they want to know more? All right, we will move on to the next thing. Discussion decision, targeted economic development district, committee resolution and bylaws. So as we just mentioned, we need to form a committee for the TED. It's an advisory committee. This is required by statute as of this past legislative session. I think it's a fantastic idea anyway. I think it's always good to have a community group have eyes on what's going on with something like this, and it helps with outreach to the public as well. But yeah, it'll be a 5-member committee. And we do have to have at least one person representing the school district, since the TED is technically in the Three Forks School District. So we will need that, but I'm hoping we will get some more people from the Wheatland area. That'd be good to get some more involvement there. And I think we will have remote options for these meetings. Obviously, that's, we got countywide, it'd be good to have a remote option. I think we're able to do that. Did anyone else want to add anything about the committee itself? I can read the resolution, or we can not read the resolution. What would you guys like?
It's been our practice to read them.
Okay, can do that.
So if we make other departments do it, we probably should do it.
Just because TJ has to read his. Jeez. All right. Resolution of Broadwater County, Montana, establishing an advisory committee with respect to the Wheatland Targeted Economic Development District. Whereas, pursuant to Montana Code Annotated, Title 7, Chapter 15, Parts 42 and 43, as amended the Act, and Ordinance Number 2019-B, adopted by the Board of County Commissioners of Broadwater County, the Board, on November 18th, 2019, the county has created its Wheatland Target Economic Development District, the district, and adopted a tax increment financing provision with respect to the district. And whereas the 2025 state legislature enacted Senate Bill 3, SB 3, which amended Section 7-15-4282 of the Act to provide that legislative bodies of local governments that adopt a tax increment financing provision must appoint an advisory committee to advise the local government about the administration of the Urban Renewal District or Targeted Economic Development District. And whereas, in addition, SB 3 requires that the committee include at least one representative from each incorporated city or town, county, or school district with boundaries that overlap with the urban renewal area or targeted economic development district. And whereas the county desires to establish an advisory committee with respect to the district that complies with requirements of SB 3. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Wheatland TED Advisory Committee, the committee, is hereby created and shall consist of 5 members to be appointed by the board, provided that at least one member appointed to the committee will be a representative from a school district with boundaries overlapping the district. Be it further resolved that the bylaws attached hereto as Exhibit A are approved as the bylaws for the committee, subject to amendment in accordance with the terms of the bylaws. So I think everybody's got a copy of the bylaws and has also had a chance to review those. And these will get reviewed again, obviously, by the committee once it's formed. Any thoughts, questions, comments?
So are we